Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the more sport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open, it's just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, let me tell you something real, my brother. That 300 feet, those 300 feet, yo, that is where the real commitment starts. And that 500-foot roll after those 300, well, straight up, bro, that is where boys fall off and where men lock in. That is where you separate the boys from the men. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about rolling stoppies. And anyone can roll a stoppie, anyone can roll an endo. You know, you float the front wheel on the front tire. But lately, I went to go practice the harder one. The harder one is a 500 minimum from a 300-foot approach. And the reason why I say it's so challenging is because almost doubling, and I've actually doubled the roll from the approach, it becomes challenging because you got to go straight to fucking balance point. And so when I said it separates the men from the boys, it does, because rolling 500 feet from a 300 ain't no fucking shit to play with. That shit gotta be on point. You gotta be leveled up. You gotta be rolling tall. You gotta be locked in. And bro, I hadn't rolled it in a while. Like I guess unofficially rolled it in my head. You know, I knew I'd been rolling, but I hadn't gone to a lot and actually measured and said, this is the approach of 300. This is the 500 that we're gonna go roll more than. And I hadn't actually measured it with some cones out in my Suzuki. I hadn't trained like that in a while. I'd been rolling stoppies in the street, and we pull up somewhere and I roll a couple of ones, and I knew I was rolling some long shit, but I hadn't gone to challenge myself and really nail back down from a short approach. And so the goal was simple. The other night I went riding. The goal was simple. I packed up my book bag, I threw my measuring stick, I threw my cones in the back, and we fucking head out. And so the goal was simple. 300 feet, right? I have 300 feet to go from zero to full send. From zero speed to go from as much speed as I fucking can, grab the fucking front brake right before hitting 300 feet. And as soon as you pass that 300-foot mark, you're already floating in the front wheel and riding that bitch out over 500 feet. Rolling. And that right there, that's distance, bro. That right there separates the average from the elite. If you ever tried to roll an endo, if you ever tried to roll stoppie, 500 feet is tough. Even if I tell you go roll that shit with an unlimited approach, you might plow into it maybe once or twice, but 300 really separates because you gotta be on point. You gotta know what you're doing. And when I realized, I rolled it, and it took me a couple of tries at the beginning. Boom, I go on, and the shit was a little sloppy, and I was like, oh, let me tighten up. And then I did it a couple of times, and once I knew, I was like, bro, this is muscle memory. I got this shit. And the crazy part, bro, that night, like, I wasn't feeling all good. Like, I actually almost didn't go riding that night. Like, pulled out my bike, my battery was dead, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I should stay in. But I already had someone out there that was meeting me, one of my homies. Right? And I knew I wasn't riding good. I wasn't riding my best. Like, I felt it, bro. My confidence was slightly off. My posture just wasn't right. My bike wasn't as high as usually is when I'm rolling. And when I say as high, it's like the back tire is high off the ground, right to balance point, right? But I didn't quit. I stayed with it, right? And a couple tries later, boom, I fucking nailed it. 500, dog. Actually, the first time I rolled barely 500. I knew it was coming, and I got a little bitched out and I let it drop, but I passed the 500. And then I came again, flew by the 500, dog. And that moment didn't come from me being on. That moment came from me showing up anyway. And that is the message that I'm here to serve today. That is the message that I'm here to relate to you today. And that's really when it hit me, dog. You see, most of us men, we only push when we feel strong. But warriors, dog, warriors, we push even when we don't want to. And when I say that, is because I have been living this straight, intentionally for over 630 days. And I might not be rolling stoppies for 630 days, but I've been intentionally working on my mind, on my body, on my spirituality, on my relationship, on my career, and in my passions every day for 630 plus fucking days. And so when I say that warriors push even when we don't want to, when we don't feel strong, when we don't want to do it, I mean it, because when you do it despite not wanting to do it. That's when you grow the most. And that is the value I gained that night, right? You see, commitment starts before your confidence shows up. And let me break this down for you, dog. Like, you don't get confidence first. You really don't. You get commitment first. You don't get confident from doing something that you have not done yet. You get confidence after having the commitment to go do that thing that you have never done yet. You see, I committed to that shorter run up. I committed to go fucking handle this 300-foot approach. I knew that I could roll some long stoppies, but when you really tying up the distance that you have to take off from, that challenges you. And so I committed to the speed. I committed to grabbing that front brake. I committed to going all out. I committed to fucking making it happen. And when I started doing it, the first one wasn't that good. The second one wasn't that good. The third one was all right. And that started fucking flowing. And the confidence started following the action that I started putting in that night. And so, my brother, the same thing goes in life, dog. You don't wait to feel motivated in order to train. You fucking start training, and then you build the motivation as you start seeing the fucking progress. You don't feel, you don't wait to feel ready to start the fucking business. No, dog. You know, you have a feeling inside that you're meant for more, and so you go fucking do it. Like, you don't wait for the perfect timing to level up, because if you wait for the perfect timing, it will never show up, dog. You move, you take the action, and you put the opportunities in front of you, dog. You see, like, you gotta take the move, you gotta take the commitment, you gotta take the action, and then the belief will catch up with your action. Action creates the confidence, not the other way around, dog. So if you're not willing to take the action, then know that the confidence is probably not gonna come. You gotta be willing to take the action. And your posture, dog, your posture, it reveals your power. It really does, because how you show up is people perceive it, one, and two, you subconsciously affect the way that you do things by how you are showing up. So if you're showing up slouched, if you're showing up not ready, if you're showing up like, I don't want to do this shit, of course you're not going to roll, especially with a stoppie. Like something that you got to fucking hype, get energy up, fucking going as fast as you can, and much gravity. You got to have the energy up. You got to have your posture up. And so that's it goes, the same thing in fucking life, dog. You gotta be ready. You gotta feel the intensity. You gotta bring the fire in order to produce the fucking game in your life. Like, dog, I could feel it in my body that night. Like, my posture told the truth. I sure, like, the guy, my buddy was taking a couple of videos for me, and I was looking at my posture, and I was like, yo, of course. At the beginning, I was like, yo, of course I'm not rolling long. Because luckily, the posture sucked. The height, and the posture reflected the height. And the sucky posture, low height. Good ass posture, you get fucking height. Height would, I mean, the back tire goes off the ground fucking high. And so when the confidence dipped, the bike didn't flow as high as it should, because I wasn't locked in. But once I got locked in, everything started to change. Same thing with us men, brother. Same thing. Like how you carry your stress, how you walk into the rooms, how you show up at work, how you lead your family, how you fucking enter the house. And your family perceives how you enter, that shows a lot about you. Shoulders slouched equals an unsure man. You know? You're like, I don't know, lazy. I'm not sure about what's going on. I'm not confident. I'm not strong. But dog, if you have your chest up, that's a warrior wounded. A warrior. Chest up, that is a grounded warrior. And I'm laughing because how the fuck did I mix that shit up? I don't know. But a grounded warrior has his chest up. He has his posture good. Like, yo, I have those friends that they see you going down and they'll check you. You're like, yo, head up, dog. And those are the type of people you want around you, because they know that your posture is the start of how you approach things. Fix your posture. You're automatically already in a different approach, in a different hindsight, looking at things different. You fix your breath. That's the next step. You already start changing your mood. You start changing your how you're feeling, how you're showing up, your state. You fix your presence, and I believe truly it starts with your presence, because when you notice your presence, how you're showing up, you're like, all right, how am I showing up? Am I down? Am I slouchy? Am I actually care? Am I showing up with some vitality, right? And then typically you fix your posture, and then you start realizing, yo, hold on, I'm breathing deep, right? Or am I breathing light, right? And so you want to So it all starts with your presence, dog. The power starts in your body. And how you show up determines what kind of results you will get. It really does, dog. And so the real growth happens when you're not at your best. It truly does. So many people think that, yo, okay, I'm gonna grow so much and this and that. But when life gets hard, I don't want to do it. No, bro, that doesn't make sense. The growth happens in the mix of the hardship. The growth happens doing the things that you don't want to do. The growth happens when you show up despite you not wanting to show up. This is the heart of this episode right here. Like, doc, I wasn't fresh. I wasn't dialed in. I wasn't feeling elite, but I trained anyways. I hadn't rolled Stoppies in forever. I knew that I had Prison Break stunt event coming up. I knew that right there, that rolling from a 300 approach is mandatory because that's the competition, and I hadn't really practiced that. And fuck it, I went and I did it anyway. I trained anyway, and that's where the progress lives. That's why I fucking did it. Because I wasn't ready, because I wasn't fresh, because I wasn't dialed in, because it was fucking cold, because I didn't want to go riding, because all this shit was getting in my way, and I wasn't gonna get another week pass by without me locking it in my mind that I knew that I had that shit. Most men only go hard on the good days, dog. But warriors, wide open warriors, we train despite the good days. We train on the bad days. We train on the hard days. We train on the sad days. We train on the good days. We train on the fucking every day. And that is what builds a fucking wide open warrior. Like I said, 630 plus days strong, intentionally working on myself. And I could tell you from training through all the days, that is how a warrior is built. Working out when you're tired, showing discipline when you're stressed, staying focused when you're distracted, dog. Choosing growth when comfort is way easier. Those are the reps that count actually double, dog. When you don't want to do this shit and you go do it anyways, that's when you come out feeling stronger than ever. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, dog. See, anyone could show up when they feel good, dog, but true champions, they show up when they don't want to. And so my question for you, dog, as we wrapped up this episode is, where in your life have you been waiting have you been waiting to feel ready instead of committing first? You know where it's at. You've been waiting to feel ready, but you damn know whether you need to just go fucking take that first step, go commit first. And so my challenge for you this week is do one hard thing on one day that you don't fucking feel like doing. Just one. Train, work, learn, read, lead, whatever it is, dog. Do it. Prove it to yourself that you don't need perfect conditions in order to perform, my brother. You don't become powerful on your best days. You become powerful on the days that you almost fucking quit. So that 300 foot to commit that I was talking about earlier, my brother, that's life asking you who you really fucking are. Let's get it, brother. Yo, I'm slamming the checkered flag deep into the ground, claiming victory for every single wide open warrior that's out there. My brother, this is your wake-up call. Break the chains, step out of the average, and become that badass motherfucker that you were born to be. This Live Wide Open movement isn't just a podcast. This is a mission that God has stamped in my heart, and helping you rise is the purpose I live for. So lock this shit in and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. Yo, and if today's message and lit that fire in your chest, my brother, don't you dare keep this shit to yourself. Fuel another brother. Send this to another motorhead. Send this to another gearhead. Send this to another warrior who's hungry for more. Because the truth of the matter is that building a better life for your family is non-negotiable. You got people who are depending on you. You've got a legacy to create. And those excuses that keep popping up in your mind, my brother, they'll never feed the fucking table. It's time to get up. It's time to lock in. And it's time to get to fucking work, dog. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your movement. And wide open is the fucking way. Let's go.